So this is gonna be my first whip on the Elyn Hobby Kshatriya or Kshatriya, whatever. So this is just the instruction manual. I actually started on this yesterday. Probably took a glimpse of the arm that I put together. Um, so a lot of people are complaining about the pieces and how they're not numbered, which is true because there's no runners on it. But as you can see, there's actually numbers in the instructions. Now again, this is the second batch, so I don't know if the first batch, if they had these pages on there. They may not. I really don't know because I don't have the first batch. But if you do, and if you can confirm, that'll be great. But what I did notice is all these pieces, how they're set up here, with all these numbers that are being used in the instructions, are actually identical to the tray. Meaning that, for example, this is tray C, and the whole tray setup is basically exactly like this. So it's not hard to find. For example, if I want these, all I have to do is go to tray C, and it'll be roughly right in the middle towards the right side. So, and same thing with these other ones. Tray D, E, well, you get the idea. So, I know people are complaining, and in a way I can understand because I started to put this together because, we have to basically flip back and forth between, the earlier pages of the trays and the numbers to the actual instruction section, and, you kind of have to go back and forth, at least I did. Basically because I really don't want to lose any of the pieces, because once the trays are open, it's kind of loose. So the other thing that I mentioned a little bit about how even I think the second batch they try to improve, which is you see some of these trays where they've got larger pieces, then they got the small tiny pieces like this. In the trays, they actually put very tiny screws on the trays, like areas here, in between the slots, to basically keep the top tray and the bottom tray sealed or somewhat, tied together. So a lot of the pieces don't come out. Well, I mean, there's good and bad in it. I think it's a pretty good, quick, short fix, just because things won't be flying off the trays. The other problem is when I want the pieces, I actually have to grab a tiny screwdriver and unscrew those tiny screws to basically unlock the tray in order to grab the tiny pieces out. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, so I started on funny. I started on this thing yesterday or last night until I just kind of finished the arm, which basically is just the first page. And it took me about I think probably about 7 hours. I know I'm no, master of anything, but it did take a while. Firstly, I actually tried to clean up a lot of the nubs and flashes and whatever else you see on here, like this stuff. There were a ton on the hands, which feel like thorns from a rose, because there's so many. You can kind of see it from there. You can kind of see it from the light. I know it's not really focused, but you get the idea. So this is the right arm I haven't started. this guy is the left arm that I basically spent 7 hours working on. So it's not a whole lot. It's basically just cleaning up of the arm, and then adding basically the armor pieces, the chrome pieces, the metallic pieces, like these tiny things. They gave these to be used inside of this. That's what's holding those round metallic pieces on. So yeah, I mean the armor's basically on there. There's a couple of chrome pieces, kind of like on the joint area. So this is, again, this is not painted, but you know, as you can see, this part, these two metal pieces, I have double-sided tape in there because I really don't want to glue it on there yet, because I haven't decided if I should paint it or not. I probably will, but I've seen other reviews and other people who just, you know, top decal and top coat it, and that was it. And I mean, theirs look great as well. So here's a little beam saber. Well, a couple things. One of the things that was a pain in the ass was trying to put these things on. These little metal pieces, because it runs on that on this thing. So I kind of have to approximate how long to cut. That wasn't a big deal. The problem is, you know, trying to fit this in the hole. In the instructions, they really doesn't state anything about there are holes on the cuffs to hook this in. So at first, when I put all these things on, I just tried to tape it on there because, again, I didn't want to glue it. And then when I took the cuffs out from the trays and, you know, clean up a little bit of flash and nub and what have you, then when I tried to put it on, I was like, oh, there are holes in here. That's how it keeps it together. I mean, on this green piece here, there's actually 2 holes in there too, kind of rectangular. So I thought it was going to go in there, but I didn't cut too much or too long of that little wire. So I was thinking, oh, screw it, I'll just, you know, tape it for the time being. And then when I found the cuffs, I was like, oh, there are 2 holes on there. The other thing is, those 2 holes were a little bit small. So I just grabbed one of my tools and basically drilled the hole a little bigger. So, you know, this is just the arm compared to what you see from basically a G Systems, you know, inner frame, and turn to this giant, badass arm piece with tons of metallic. So, learning experience, yeah, I would say so. Hard work, yeah, that too. But you know what? You know, just getting this part done, yeah, 7 hours and all. I actually felt a bit of accomplishment, if nothing else. Because I mean, it does look pretty nice. You know, I mean, they had these parts separately painted, and you know, you got a ton of metal parts, chrome parts, things like that. And even if I don't paint it and just panel line these, it'll probably look great. You know, panel line like, you know, here and the armor pieces. But I haven't decided what I want to do with that yet. But anyway, that's it for now. So this is the first whip. Hopefully I'll get this guy done. Hopefully I don't have to spend 6 hours on it, since you know, I kind of know what's going on with this. But definitely the cleanup would take a while. I spent like 3 hours to clean up one arm. I had to take the screws off, try to disassemble as much as I can, because some of the nubs and flashes are kind of hidden, but you can tell easily because it's actually popping some of the pieces up. Anyway, so that's that. And hopefully I will have WIP number 2 coming up very soon. Thanks. Bye.